In this lesson, we are going to talk about setting up your social media. This is where things get fun. So in this lesson, you are going to learn the purpose of your social media for your Etsy shop, and we are going to talk about what to do on social media from day one on. So there's a future module that's going to be dedicated to driving traffic to your shop via social media as part of your scaling strategy. But right now, our goal is to establish the basis of your social media and to get the ball rolling. When you're at the point where you're scaling, you need to have the ball already rolling in your social media. You can't just try to start it when you're at the point when you're ready to scale. So what is the purpose of social media in your shop? The whole point of social media in your shop when you launch and you have less than 1,000 sales is to build and establish trust with your customers to increase conversion. And this is all about creating a brand identity and experience that offers reassurance to customers and makes you, the shop, feel like a really safe shop to buy from. So it's really about the experience that you're giving a customer and the trust that you're building with them in that relationship. So the reason for this is because activity on your social media for your business page, it creates the perception that you are active in your business. So if you are active on your business social media page, you are active in your business. That's the perception. I'm sure you guys have seen different businesses where they have completely dead social media, right? Like they posted on it like back in like 2015 and it's just like sitting there kind of rotting away. And in the back of your mind, you kind of wonder, you're like, I wonder if they're still open. I wonder if they're still doing business. I wonder if they're still serving clients. Maybe I should call or email first, right? That's the vibe. That's the perception that creates. So, and if you have no social media, then it really puts into question how authentic and how legitimate your business is. So remember, if you post on social media daily, this tells customers that you work on your business daily. Customers are often concerned with young shops, how the experience is going to go, and if the shop owner is actually running a business, or if they might be flaky, maybe forget to ship, maybe get behind, or maybe they're just kind of treating this like a hobby and they'll get to their order like whenever they get to it. So being active on your social media daily, it shows that you are in your business daily. So maybe you're thinking, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, the most important thing you need to do is Instagram. Now, if you have your brand name, it should be the name of your Instagram account. Do not use your personal account unless there's a lot of customers that are already on your personal account. Now, if you have a lot of followers on your personal account and they are understanding of your business, maybe you don't even post like much personal stuff on your account, then it's totally fine to use your personal account. But I would change the name of it to your business name. So don't operate your business under your personal name. You also want to turn your Instagram account into a business account because you're going to get better analytics this way. You need analytics if you're going to drive traffic through Instagram. So shift it to a business account. You can do that under the settings. Super easy and well worth it. So after Instagram, I would look at TikTok. So TikTok is definitely not necessary, but I would look at how other shops in your category utilize TikTok. For certain categories and certain products, like TikTok is great. It's really unpredictable over there. Sometimes you don't even know what's going to take off. But when things go viral, they go viral. So honestly, what I would do for the sake of time is repurpose all of your content from Instagram, all of the reels that you create for Instagram, just put them on TikTok. But I would say it's second to Instagram. Now, Pinterest, you need to set up your Pinterest. It's okay if it's not your business Pinterest account. If you already have a personal Pinterest account, that's totally fine because people are not looking to follow necessarily businesses on Pinterest. You're going to use this to get a wider reach and get pins in front of people. People aren't necessarily really interested in the original account that pinned the pin. They're more just looking for information, pins relative to their search. So with Pinterest, if you already have a personal account, totally fine. But I do recommend switching it to a business account, totally free and worth it because this is going to help you for driving traffic organically. Customers aren't going to go to Pinterest to try to find your shop's name. You do not even need to link this on your Etsy page. Like you don't need to put your Pinterest on there. I really would use this tool as a way to bring traffic to your site, but it's not a way to connect with customers. And I'm going to show you the whole Pinterest strategy for driving traffic organically in a separate module all about using social media to scale. But for now, create your Pinterest account and make it a business account so you have analytics. If you have followers on your personal Pinterest account, don't bother creating a second one. Just use your current personal Pinterest account. Facebook is not really necessary unless you already have a brick and mortar shop or maybe a service-based company that your Etsy shop is tied to, but you do not need Facebook. If you create a shop on Instagram that links to your Etsy shop, it's the same thing on Facebook. You don't really need to have set up Facebook. It's not necessary and it's not where I would put my time. Because right now we want to put our time on profitable actions. Facebook is not going to be doing that for you. No need to have a page for Facebook unless you are used to getting a lot of business through Facebook. So I know a lot of people who start on Etsy and they say, yeah, I have a Facebook group that I used to sell through or a page that I used to sell through. So a lot of my customers are already over there. Then keep that going. But it's not something that you should feel like you need to start from scratch. Twitter, don't waste your time. And YouTube is not applicable. So how do you start on Instagram? Step one, you need a profile photo that shows your logo or an item that you sell that you're known for. You do not need to have your face in this logo because we expect your face to show up a little bit in the feed feed and in your content. You're going to link your Etsy shop as your website on your profile. You are going to call out the categories that you sell in your shop at the top as bullet points. And you are going to state that you ship worldwide if you ship. And you can put a little emoji like a globe or something like that for some interest, and be consistent with your Etsy keywords. So this is not where you need to put like long tail keywords that are all jumbled together, not grammatically correct or anything. This is not the place to make it like listing description, but maybe consider it like having it similar to your description under your title in your Etsy shop, something like that. And on Instagram, you are going to post one time per day in at least one place. So do not overthink it. It can either be a story, a reel, or an in-feed post. And you can recycle if you want to just get started and you're like, I don't know how to begin. Recycle product photos just to get started. So photos of your products, start using those as part of your content. So what do you post on Instagram? Maybe you're like, I don't even know what to say, Dylan. Okay, number one, post an introduction for your shop. Use your logo. And that is the logo that appears on Etsy, because consistency is key. We don't want someone to come to our Instagram and wonder, oh, I wonder if that's that Etsy shop. So the first thing you are going to post on Instagram is an introduction for your shop. Now you can just use your logo, so no need to come up with some great photo or something. Just use your logo and introduce yourself. Introduce yourself as the designer, the maker, or the owner, and talk about why you started it, give a little backstory, and talk about what to expect. So touch on what product categories you plan to be offering, and then ask if they have any special requests, and let them know that you are willing to accept custom requests, because the best way to grow fast on Etsy is to say yes to what people ask you for. The customers will tell you what they want, and if you lean into things and if you say yes over and over and over and over again, you're going to grow your product offering to something that people really want. Because if someone is asking you, a brand new business, for something, that means they likely haven't found it somewhere else, or it's not readily available. So there's usually more people out there who would want that item from you. Now, the second thing you can post on Instagram, this category is just creating reels or posts with all the example products that you've ever made. So I'm hoping you have some photos of them. If not, hopefully you still have them around so that you can't take photos. Create reels or posts out of these items. It's just past orders, you can call them even if they were not orders, maybe they were gifts, just call them past orders, and that starts to establish credibility and gives customers and followers an idea of what to expect from you. Now, the third thing to post on Instagram, I recommend doing this at least within your first week. I recommend doing this minimum of once a month. I would say, every 100 followers that you get, I would do this post. So what you're going to do is post an introduction to you as the maker or the designer with a photo of you. And this does not need to be a recent photo, whatever. Just choose a photo that makes you feel confident and simply tell them your story. Or if that's too much, just say, I'm the owner of the business. We have a lot of new followers and faces. Thanks for joining us. Here are 5 fun facts about me. I can't wait to get to know you guys. 5 fun facts. So simple. Don't overthink it. Number 4, the thing to post on Instagram. Anytime you get a positive review, take a screenshot of that, okay? This is advertising. These are testimonials. So anytime you get any positive feedback, even if it's not a review with 5 stars, maybe it's a message from the customer, you can take off their name, like blur out their name or scribble it out and take the screenshot and share it. That is going to be key. What I ended up doing is creating a whole highlight, a stories highlight of these customer reviews. So even if you screenshot it, take the picture and put it as a post in your Instagram feed, you can share that post to your stories and create a stories highlight called customer reviews. So anytime you post anything in your feed, whether it be a reel or just a static post, you are going to share it to stories. And under stories, you can create highlights and have one highlight that you title customer reviews or just reviews. And that is going to be key to building trust with customers. The next thing you're going to share are customer photos that they send you after receiving the product. So let's say you do wedding invitations, like downloads. You are going to share their customer photos, of course, with their permission. But this is such a good key. It really shows the new customers and prospective customers, hey, okay, this other people have bought from this person and it was totally legitimate and it turned out really well. That looks really good. I want that. These are lifestyle photos. Usually it's almost better, just as good, if not better than, 5-star review or testimonial, because it's proof that your stuff actually looks good in real life. That's another category of what to post. You can also have a highlight titled customer photos, which is what I did. A lot of times new people will look through your highlights. So if they just found your Instagram, they will likely go through all of your highlights, and customer Customer reviews and customer photos are two highlights that have been the most popular and most visited for me. The next thing you are going to share about or post about on Instagram could be new product launches or new designs you're working on. Now, this doesn't even have to be something you've completed. This can be just be showing your process. So literally, it doesn't need to be you doing it. It could be an up close, even like pictures of new supplies that you just got, or a new design that you're working on. Just show kind of a sneak peek at what's to come, because it gets people coming back to see the finished result. Now, the next thing you're going to post about is any promotions or sales. In the sprinting strategy, where we are growing and scaling your shop to get your first 100, your first 500 sales as quickly as possible, you might be running a promotion or a sale at some point, and you want to share about that. Now, we do not want to be running weekly sales. We don't want to be having a permanent sale. Our goal here is not to be attracting price sensitive customers, but when you do have the rare sale, you want that to be impactful. You want that to be powerful. The less often you run a sale, the more powerful the results you will see from it. Just think about it like the stores that never have sales except for maybe one time a year on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, right? People that they see a huge lift in their sales from those days because the customers shopping with them know like, okay, this is like the one time a year that I can get a discount. The next thing you could post are any behind the scenes of you actually designing something or making something. It could be you shopping for supplies. It could be you learning a new technique. It could be you at your computer designing something. It does not need to be super fancy and thoughtful, just something raw and behind the scenes. The ninth thing you could post is any frequently asked questions. Now you might be thinking, I don't even have anyone asking me anything. How am I going to post frequently asked questions? Even if someone hasn't asked you this, call it an FAQ, a frequently asked question, and then answer one question at a time for lots of content. You don't have to go through like 10 at a time. Spread them out. Don't use them all up at once because it's content. So consider it like this. If you were a customer shopping from yourself, a business that was like yourself, what would a question be that you would have? Or think about your customer and what question they might have about your product or your process. So just one FAQ at a time, that is a post. The 10th thing is once you start getting orders, sneak peeks of every customer order, even if it's a digital design or a download, even if you're not shipping something, post a picture of it and say, delivered to, Sarah M today. You do not need to be shipping things in order to have sneak peeks. You can just call out examples of what you delivered or who ordered what in your shop. Don't do last names. First names are totally fine. The next thing you're going to do is show your face. I know, at minimum 1 time per week. I know this is hard, especially if you are not used to it, but people buy from people. And there is no way that you are going to become a $300,000 to $400,000 a year Etsy shop without showing your face. I mean, you might, but it's going to take such a long time that it's going to be hard to stay consistent till you get there. So the more you show your face, the faster you're going to grow. Don't worry about judgment. People are just people. People are usually more concerned about themselves and how people see themselves than what they're thinking about you. So don't worry about it. Put something out there, just a quick hello. You don't even have to talk to the camera. Something I like to do is simply a little boomerang story. So the boomerang is great because there's no sound in it. And all you have to do is smile and tilt your head. And then it'll just do the quick back and forth. Smile, tilt your head, or smile, put your thumb up, or a peace sign, or, hold up a design you're working on. You don't even have to caption it. It's just showing up. Being active on social media makes them think you're active in your business, and that's what you're trying to do here. The more you show up, the faster you're going to grow. Something that I did was oftentimes I would just read through my list for the day. I would just show up in the mornings and I would read through my to-do list. So I would be sitting here with my notebook and say, good morning, I just dropped my kids off at school and now I'm getting started on my day's work. I'm going to be working on orders for, and then I would name the 10 names of the people who I was working on their order that day. If you don't have orders, just tell them what you're working on that day. Give them your to-do list. People love knowing what a business is doing behind the scenes. Give them a glimpse into a day in the life of your business. Don't overthink it. It can just be something simple. If you're struggling to come up with content and ways to show up that doesn't feel awkward, I recommend following other competitor accounts that are in a similar category. It doesn't need to be a competitor because you don't want to try to copy them or inadvertently copy them, but just get some inspiration and ideas for how these people and in what situations they show their face. It's going to really make it seem more digestible and less scary or intimidating when you see examples of other people doing it where they feel like they're just like you, right? Now, this is just another tip. When you are posting on Instagram, make sure to tag different places that your customers will be in the location of that post or reel or story. If you're going for an affluent customer, check into affluent places. So tag yourself, put the location of that post in affluent places like Laguna Beach, LAX, JFK, airports. People are on their phone all the time at airports. San Diego Zoo, that's the place that I used to use. Disney World, that's a great place to check in, especially if you sell anything for kids, moms, like tourism type of gadgets and things. Nantucket, the Hamptons, Manhattan, Central Park, South Beach. think of places that are destinations where people would be searching for that location. So let's say you live in a town of 1,000 people. Do not have your location be that town every time you post. Sure, once in a while, it establishes that you actually do live in, Podunk, whatever. Make sure you tag your location of different places that your customers are located. And once you start to get traction and you see where your customers live, you will have a better idea of where to find them and where to meet them, of where to check in and where to have your location tagged at. So it'll become more clear as you get more sales. But for now, just think of where you think they would be and check in and tag your location at those places. Now, the next thing when you're posting on Instagram to keep in mind is that you're going to utilize hashtags, that you can analyze so many different hashtag strategies, right? I found that it's just important to have them. I would max out the number of hashtags that you can have. The easiest way to do this is to look up a hashtag generator on Google for a hashtag related to your item. Do not do hashtag Etsy shop, because then you are going to be in a sea of Etsy shops. You're not trying to find other Etsy shops to follow you. So look up on Google, type in, copy and paste, hashtag generator, hashtag whatever. Now, here's an example. If you sell baby blankets, then look up hashtag generator, copy and paste, hashtag nursery decor. Okay, and then you can copy and paste it. You just click a button, copy and paste it. So it is important right now on Instagram to include that list of hashtags in the caption itself, not as a comment. So in order to do that, where it's not flooding the first sentence that you say, to make it so it's further down, is that you do maybe write your caption, period, and then enter, return on your phone, dot, like a period, return 4 times, period, like on 4 different lines, and then paste the list of hashtags. And that will make it so they don't butt up against your caption, and people seeing your post have to click like read more in order to see all of those hashtags. So use a hashtag generator. Don't use the same hashtags every time, just copy and paste, or have a set just on your notes on your desktop that you just copy and paste, rotate through them. And but you do not want to be doing hashtag Etsy seller, hashtag Etsy shop. You want to be doing like hashtag nursery decor, hashtag baby room, hashtag kids wall art, hashtag home renovation. Like, you want to be meeting the customer where they're at. You don't want to be trying to connect with other Etsy shops. So the last thing I want to say about Instagram is do not overthink what you post. Do not second guess yourself. Just look in front of you. This is literally what I do. I just look in front of me. I look at what I'm working on and I share it. I don't think twice. So show your supplies, show your screen, your packaging materials, your inspiration, your process, anything. Showing up in any way is way better than not showing up at all. So there's a lot more to come on this in my module on driving traffic, your own traffic organically with social media, but this is to get you started. So TikTok. Now, create a TikTok account and just repurpose all of your Instagram reels for it. The most important thing is that you're showing up. I wouldn't make separate content for TikTok unless you are, starting to outsource your marketing because you've scaled to, hundreds of thousands of dollars. TikTok, just repurpose your reels. You click edit, save to your camera roll, and then edit, copy your caption, paste it all, upload the same exact thing to TikTok. And that is better than not showing up at all. Don't feel pressure to get TikTok going until you have more traction, because this is not a profitable way to spend your time in your first 500 sales. So other social media places that you might be posting, just repurpose your Instagram content and repost it. Do not create specific content for specific platforms at this point. The point right now doesn't need to be how you are showing up. The only thing that matters with social media right now, as you're starting, if you are trying to grow, is that you do show up. Done is better than perfect. All right, so now you should have a good basis and a good starting point for creating your listings, for optimizing them, creating your descriptions, filling out your shop completely, your about page, your announcements, your policies, getting your listings going, doing the SEO, doing good photos. So there's a lot of work to be done now. And remember, look back at the launch products. So try to create all those launch products, cover all of those within your shop, especially if you're just starting out. And if your shop is existing, then make sure that you're covering all those bases. Be intentional about which products you have in your shop are going to kind of fit within those kind of launch categories that I mentioned, like the loss leader, the customization option, all of that. So this week, there should be a lot of work to be done. And if you have any questions, join me in the community group and I'll be there to help.